Sul Simmers, my name is Darth Jaswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're building a fast food restaurant in San Sequoia. I've already got the layout done for this building, so let's just get right into it, shall we? So like I said, this is going to be a fast food restaurant. It's actually modeled after like a Burger King. I'm even going to put the old play sets in it, one of the toddler ones, so that you can actually bring your toddlers here and they'll have something to do, because I don't actually have high chairs here. I refuse to have high chairs in my game. They have a tendency to be like really glitchy and not work most of the time, so I just avoid putting them in most of my builds. They stopped doing play sets in restaurants like a really long time ago. Like I remember being a kid and having the Burger King in my hometown like have one of those play structures in it, but that was like way back in the early 2000s, so it's been like such a long time since they've actually done the play structures. And they like always had a ball pit, and I really wanted to use this big huge play structure for the toddlers, so I made the room a little bit bigger just so I could fit the entire thing in here. And then I'm gonna put like some party supplies in the room as well, because we used to have like parties at Burger King when we were younger. That is really what we're trying to emulate here. I had to make the room like quite large, so that kind of like limits our seating available, but that is all right. We don't need a lot of seats in restaurants, especially in The Sims, because they don't really function that well anyway. We all know that the universal experience for restaurants in The Sims is you go there and you spend most of the day there, and that's pretty much what happened when I was doing my playtesting for this build. I think I went there around like 8 o'clock at night, and my sim was there until like midnight. And she didn't really even order a lot, and it was just a single sim that I was with. So 4 hours for a single sim to just get food is like way too much. So I really wish the Sims team would like go back and refresh Dine Out, because that's like all I see when people are asking for like bug fixes is like fix Dine Out, because I want to go out and take my Sims to these places, but it's impossible. Like, I wish we could specify the type of restaurant that it is, like a fast food restaurant or a sit-down restaurant, because I feel like that would kind of expedite the process, because if your sim was just going to a fast food restaurant, then they could go up to the counter, order their food, and hand it like a restaurant stall, like one of the food stalls. And then if there was like a sit-down restaurant option, then that would take a little bit longer, just like our normal system for Dine Out is. But I wish there was just like more options and easier ways to go to Dine Out restaurants. I know Carl's mod has done a like Dine Out remastered mod, which fixes a lot of the bugs and timing, and it also offers like pickup orders, like Zoomers delivery. But that's only for like PC players, so if you're on console like I am, then you don't get that luxury. And I've seen James Turner play with that mod a few times on his channel, because him and Dr. Gluon do like a Burger Boys series, which is actually pretty fun, and they use that mod. And overall, it seems like a pretty well done mod. I don't have personal experience working with it, but I have seen quite a few videos on it, and it seems to work fairly well. So right now we've got most of our seats in here. I've also got our wallpaper and tile flooring. I wanted to go for the tile because that's something that like most restaurants have, just because it's easier to clean than something like carpet is. And I'm going with this like fun white and blue tile because I want to match the colors on the child's playset, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. I also thought it'd be fun to use these bins from the For Rent pack for trash cans, because they actually look like something that you would find in a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant. And I'm currently kind of working on the bathroom. It was a little small, so I did have to make it kind of bigger and delete one of the toilets so that I could have room to put a sink. And I'm going to use these same counters from the base game in the bathroom that I did for the little cash register area. And I'm not going to do too much with the bathroom just because it is a restaurant bathroom. There's probably not going to be that much stuff in there anyway. I probably could have put one of the baby changing tables in here. I just didn't really think about it because not a lot of people are going to be bringing their infants out. You might bring your toddlers, but the infants are like even less likely because you have to hold them. But overall, I left the bathroom pretty uncluttered because your Sims might not even use it. I thought about making the bathroom really disgusting, but then I ended up just leaving it normal because I didn't feel like going all out with the disgusting today. Plus, I like to have somewhat of a clean bathroom in restaurants just because, you know, there's going to be food around and I don't want people getting sick. I say that like it's even possible for your Sims to get sick in a restaurant from the bathroom. Like, it's not. I also added an air conditioner in the kitchen. I have worked in kitchens my whole life, and it just sucks in the summer. Like, it is so hot in the kitchen in the summer that it's like almost unbearable. So having an air conditioner would be nice. And since I can't do it for myself, I'll do it for my Sims. And then it gets like unbelievably cold in the winter. Like I can't. I wish it was like the opposite. But I did go into this profession willingly, so that's kind of like on me. But I love my job and I love baking, so I just kind of, roll with it because that's what you gotta do. I'm just thankful that I don't have to work in front of fryers anymore. Like, fryers are the worst in the summer. Like, I used to work at this like huge bakery that made donuts, and I had to make donuts all the time in front of this huge fryer, and it was like 1,000,000 degrees. And we had like a special uniform that we had to wear like over our everyday clothes. So that just made you even more hot. So most of the time I ended up wearing like a tank top to work, so I wasn't like as hot. But most of the time I was standing in between these huge fry lines. Like, mine was a little bit smaller because it was like a cake fryer, so it was only about 10 feet long. But the one behind me was like our yeast fryer, and it was like 20 feet long. Just these massive donut fryer lines, and it was so hot all the time. Although it's a lot better now that I'm not like at a factory, I'm like in a restaurant. So my like area is kind of like in a hallway almost, and then I have like a little area where my table and my mixer is. And I've actually been thinking about making the restaurant that I work at in The Sims for a while, so maybe I could do that in the future. It's not the most interesting looking restaurant on the outside, but I can always like, do some Sims stuff to make it look a little bit better and just have the floor plan be the same, because the restaurant that I work at is essentially just a big rectangle. There's like 3 different dining rooms, and then we also have like a banquet room, so everything's very square. I don't really build restaurants that often, so I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it, but I will eventually. Although I'm not quite sure when I'll get to it because I've been really obsessed with Pal World, and I've just been like grinding and doing a lot of stuff with that. If you haven't seen my video on it, please go check that out. It's kind of a longer video for me, and I should have a longer one out in a few days if you want to check that out. I really enjoy Pal World. Like, I wasn't thinking I was gonna like it at first. There's a lot of like collecting and mining that has to go into it, so I didn't really think that I would be interested in it, but I ended up like trying to help my son with something, and I just got like sucked into it. So I was like, oh my gosh, now I have to download this on my computer because he was playing on my husband's computer, and I have been obsessed ever since. I just can't get away from it. This build is pretty limited on packs. I know for sure that I used like Strangerville for like 1 poster, high school years for a few posters, like the little boba tea posters, and then toddler stuff pack for the playset. Also a few for rent things in there, the AC and the trash cans, and I think a few other things, I'm not really sure. And the rest of it is dine out furniture and the base game stuff. And, I just said that this was a limited pack build. It ended up being like 20 packs. I just went and looked at it on the gallery, and yeah, sorry. I really thought I didn't use that many packs, but apparently I did. Although I will have to say a lot of it's just like 1 or 2 random items from the pack. Like right now I'm using some get to work stuff, but if you don't have get to work, it's not like these cash registers are going to be functional anyway, because they don't even work in retail stores. They're just there for decoration. So if you didn't have get to work, you could just replace it with like a computer or something like that. Although you might not want to, because your sim might try to go use it, and like it'll confuse your sims because they'll just keep trying to use the computer even though they won't be able to. But we're working on the outside of the build now. I've got the parking lot all set up already. I'm just kind of putting these for rent awnings on the side of the building because I thought it would look like a cool little drive-through moment. Some restaurants used to do this, but I don't think they really do it a whole lot anymore. But they'd put like an awning over your car so that you can like reach in and out if it was raining and not get your arms soaked. I don't really think they do that too much anymore though. Again, I really don't do a whole lot with landscaping. I'm not good at it, so I tend to just kind of do these bushes here along the sides of the building because I just think it looks good. I really should like do a park where it's just like all landscaping eventually, just to like practice my landscaping skills. I just haven't gotten around to it. I don't know, I'm almost like scared to do landscaping and have it be like super complicated because like my game lags so much already when I'm doing like a really complicated build. I'm afraid of what it would do if I had like a ton of landscaping. Like the terrain paint glitch is one thing, but if I have to do like all this nice fancy landscaping and then I have to constantly redo the terrain paint, I'm gonna get like so mad. It's just the terrain paint glitch that drives me so crazy. Like in the last build that I did, you can actually see that I had the terrain paint down, and then when I went into live mode, it was just gone. And I had already spent like so much time on the house that I just didn't feel like going back through and putting in the terrain paint before I like did my tour video. So I just left it. I don't know if anybody noticed, but that did happen. I created a custom menu for this restaurant and it's called Flo's Floats on my gallery. If you're looking for it, it's just Darth_Jeswick. But that is all for today's speed build. We'll be getting to the tour in just a few moments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. I upload a couple videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in the next video. Dag dag!